Hi, this is Ken Wincorn, and I want to tell you a little bit about one of the first trials that I had. This one was before Judge Sarah Hughes, and she was actually the one who swore in Lyndon Johnson when President Kennedy was shot. And she was known for being extremely tough. So this case was one involving a fellow who owned a mortuary service. He was behind about $15,000 in taxes. This was a case where it was mixed criminal and civil. The penalty could be a very large fine or could actually be jail time. Our client, his name was Jim, owned a mortuary service that had been a successful mortuary service until they had a fire. And when the place was destroyed, he didn't have any income. And the government went after him. The attorney for the government, he was so difficult that he wouldn't talk to me. And that's critical, because in any case, the first thing you try to do is deal with the district attorney, or in this case, the U.S. attorney, to try to resolve the issues, find a solution. Really, you don't want to go to court, and the court doesn't want you to go before then. It takes up a lot of valuable time. The judge then asked us both to come to the bench, and she said, "Have you tried to resolve this?" And I said, "I've tried, but I'm not having any cooperation from the government." She said, "I want you to go back in my library, and I'd like you to see if you can't resolve it, and then come back in about 15 minutes. We went there. He said he didn't want to talk. I said, "I'm not talking about this. I just want to see him in jail." I explained that we had $10,000 of the $15,000, that money had been raised by selling his house. This left him with nothing. He said he didn't care. We went back into the courtroom. The judge asked again, "Have you tried to sell this?" I said, "He won't talk to me. We can't try to negotiate at all." She said, "Okay, we're going to go to trial." We started the trial. I put on his wife. She testified to the terrible situation that they had. They had 7 children, that they had no money, that they had sold their house, they'd raised it, and that everything that they had was being offered now to try to settle the case. We then put the client on the stand. He said the same thing, that he had a successful business, but now it was gone. This was all there was, and that he was offering everything he could to try to settle it. The judge then asked the state whether they agreed or didn't agree to take the money. And she said, "And by the way, if you don't take the money, what's going to happen is that I have the right also to dismiss this case." At that point, he asked if he could go back and talk to the rest of the staff, the attorneys who were there from the Justice Department. And he came back, and he agreed to take the money. This was something that really made my heart, it's warmed my heart, because this was a family that needed desperately not to have him in jail. Anyway, after the trial was over and the money had been paid, we were walking behind the judicial chambers in the corridor, and the judge, who was about 4'10", came up behind my client, reached up and patted him on the shoulder. He said, "Jim, I really want to wish you luck." And she walked back into her chambers. That was one of the most heartwarming experiences I've ever had. And this is what justice should be. This is the way it should work. Common sense should prevail in the end. When there is no other option and somebody's doing everything they possibly can to correct the problem, they should not be penalized for it. If you need help on any kind of a case, any kind of a criminal case or civil case, please give us a call. We will do everything we can to help you, and we will do it in a compassionate way. We look forward to seeing you.
For help, call the KGW Law offices at 214-630-1221.